Hello, everyone, ladies, and hopefully also some gentlemen who might be watching this interview. I'm Daniela Dicascata, and I have Dymphi Peeters with me. And this is another online golden circle. So welcome, Dymphi.
Thank you. Really lovely to be here.
Me and Dymphi, we met in Bosnia and Herzegovina at the Sun Pyramid, actually. And it's been some time already. And since then, we created some retreats together. We also created a short film. And it's been a very lovely and supportive cooperation. And yeah, especially in these Corona times, I'm very happy Dymphi is in my life, actually, because this is the time when women need to empower each other much more than ever before. So we do that on a regular basis in our private lives. And we also help empower other women who want to join some of our activities. So before we start, I'd love to ask Dymphi if she could introduce me in a spontaneous way, just speaking about how she feels my essence, and then I will do the same for Dymphi.
Okay, wonderful. Well, when I met Daniela, when we met in Bosnia, she was with her son and I was with my daughter, and I think we spoke for 5 minutes or something, and we immediately connected, and I felt like, oh, we have common interest. You know, Daniela, she's a very strong and brave woman, and she's very free and loves to live her wild nature. And I was so happy to meet her because she had been guiding people around in beautiful places, in wild nature, where there's very interesting energy going on. And so I felt like, oh, this is amazing, you know, this can really, really help me to to reach people, and to it can really be a support for what I can bring to the world, like with my voice work and my medicine music. So yeah, I felt immediately connection, that we are like different expressions, but we are also same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I saw Dymphi for the first time, I was really impressed by the golden sunflower yellow shine that I just feel around her. And it is very much also the voice and the connection with music that caught my attention, because my son was there with ukulele, his favorite instrument at the time, and I don't have a musical ear. I don't know how to tune instruments, and Dymphi was immediately able to tune it for him, and they were actually singing and playing together in a spontaneous way, and it was very, very beautiful, actually, and my son was very happy. And I really see that people who are able to communicate with kids on this level, you know, on this honesty and openness, I mean, this is the people I really want to be with, you know, because it's very important to see children, because when you are able to see children, you are able to see adults, because adults, we also have this, you know, creativity and curiosity potential inside us, which needs to be developed, uncovered. So that was very important. And then also, I just love voice work of any kind. And I did some voice retreats before Dymphi, but it was so very special to be doing this with Dymphi. And it turned from voice healings and voice workshops into sound healings and sound sessions. So Dymphi, can you now talk a bit about the difference between these two and the similarities, and how it shifted, how your work shifted actually throughout the time?
Yes. Well, first I was more focused on voice work, in the sense of which I'm still like helping people to free their voice, helping people to sing from their soul, to sing from their essence, to learn them to to improvise, to really create their own music, and to do this from different body parts, to do it from different images, from different atmospheres or emotions. And uh, well, I think that last October, I went together with Daniela. We did a retreat again, and then we visited a very special place where I got some kind of initiation. Daniela, she asked me. It was a very old wall of bricks, and it was so silent there, and it felt very magical. Like there were beautiful flowers and there were butterflies, and it felt super sacred. And then Daniela, she asked me uh, to sound for her, and she wanted to lay down on an old rock. So she lay down, and I intuitively sounded for her for different parts of her body. And then, and the funny thing was that I never had done it before like that in this way. But when I was there, I knew what to do. And later, she told me that she experienced it as very powerful. And then when I went back to the Netherlands, where I live, um, I wanted to do some experiments with it, and it has brought my work to a whole new level, because now because I found out that it's super powerful, that it can also relieve pain, like physical pain, and it can really help people to unblock energy in certain parts of their body. So the goal is always to get a free flowing body, and to help the immune system of the own person, to help the whole healing system of the person to do its work. So
Yeah, it's
yeah, so
very,
and now
sorry to
yeah,
interrupt. Yeah.
it's very amazing how it went. And now, because of this whole corona crisis, I felt like okay, I wanna find out if it's also online possible to give sound healing. So I did some experiments, and it works super good. So it is actually because of this whole crisis thing that I even found out, like, okay, I don't need to be physically in this room, and yeah, it's really energetical work, which also works on a distance.
Yes, and when you were talking about it right now, it was actually very touching for me, because like I felt it happening again, and it was very amazing work you did there at that place. And then I had a chance to actually experience this online healing, and it helped me a lot, because I was going through um, some return of my asthma symptoms, which I didn't have for a few years. But it came back now, because I'm in Croatia, on the coast, on the Adriatic coast. But strangely enough, we've been struggling with some air pollution for past 3 weeks. And so my lungs were just very, although I didn't have temperature or anything like that, but my lungs were suffocating. And so I had this online healing by Dymphi, and it really got me back to life. So I absolutely recommend it to anyone who has any symptoms of any physical or even mental illness. Definitely give it a try. And even if you don't have symptoms, it can be a very nice experience. So sound healing by Dymphi, highly recommended. One more thing we did in October, and which just really stayed deeply inside me, is that we were in a wine cellar in Herzegovina, where there is one of the, it's a really amazing place. Okay, let's not advertise that place right now, but I asked Dymphi if she could bless the wine which is being produced there with her voice. And I'm very happy doing just anything with Dymphi, because she allows me to be what I am, because I'm really amused, you know, I'm really amused and I love being that. So that's why I love so much working with artists, because there are no limits, you know. It just comes to me, I share with her this information, and often she's just willing to follow that, and then we create something very beautiful. So we were blessing the wine, you know, so that the wine gets beautiful. And one more thing that was happening in Herzegovina was our discussion with another amazing woman, which I hope I will be interviewing later on. And we were talking about the origins of souls, and really amazing information came to us. And that was at a place called Daurson in Herzegovina, which is a Machu Picchu of Bosnia and Herzegovina, a very sacred place, which is very supportive for the work we are doing, like working with women and so on. So I just felt like adding this, because I feel I'm not a person who feels very proud of things, but I am really proud of what we have created with Dymphi, even though often, you know, what we do is a big challenge for the people who participate in the retreats, let's say, because it's not in any sense holiday what we offer. It's a call for growth. It's a inspiration to grow. And to grow, we need to leave our comfort zone. And there are a lot of challenges, you know, throughout the journey. So it's not just it is a cheerful, beautiful, joyful experience, but it can also get difficult. And I think, you know, many of those things that we experience throughout a retreat, which takes just a few days, many of the things participants might understand or digest only a few months later. Yeah. How do you feel about that, Dymphi?
Yes. I think that is how it works. It's like a quick cook pan. I don't know how to translate it in English. of experiences in a week, for example, and then it all it needs to, it's like the sand in a glass of water. It's all shaken up, and then it falls back into this new balance.
And both me and Dymphi, we are sevens, so we are transformators. So when we are together, of course, it's multiplied, right? So it's like not 7 plus 7, but 7 multiplied by 7. So imagine that transformation. Okay, and I also wanted to ask.
Tell me. There was one thing it just came to my mind when you were talking about this blessing, this wine. Then when she asked me to bless the wine, I started to sing classical, and I started to sing Rusalka. And I remember that it really came so deep from my soul, and it touched me. It made me cry also to sing like that. And it's kind of something I remembered, like oh yeah, this is something which really comes from my core, but it's such a process, you know, to let it out, and it's a process my whole life. And then she was asking me to sing, and I sang like that. And now we are like half a year further in time, or even more. And now I have these new projects with the piano players, and I sing more classical. And it's also thanks to you, Daniela, that you asked me to sing Rusalka again. And then I was like, oh yes, it's so great to add some improvisation to that. So it's super inspiring. I'm artistically, I feel it's very inspired.
Yeah, it's good that you mentioned Rusalka, because that's my, you know, favorite ever thing that happened in our interaction. And sorry, if I remember it correctly, it's like before we went to the cellar, we were offered some beautiful champagne, which was produced there. And it felt like a very sacred moment, actually, because all of that was unplanned, and it was like a very nice gift or blessing or whatever. and it felt very special. And I remember we had this discussion, and I just felt this strong need, like mentioning this opera, because I love opera, but somehow opera with its environment and everything, it's a little, strict, a little, unflexible, it's just, there's a little bit of this life sparkle, missing sometimes. Of course, not with all artists, but altogether, the kind of environment. And then I just felt that Dymphi, really, she has that voice, which is, she's able to train it in the classical way. And at the same time, she has this sacredness in it. Let's just say a few words about your instruments, because you use very interesting instruments, and tell us just a few about, a little bit about these instruments.
Oh, yes. Well, you can see it here in the back. There's my kora, and my kora, it's an, I hope that you can see it right. It's an African harp, and it was invented by women originally, but man let it sound into the world. And it comes from West Africa, from Mali, and there the people who play this instrument, they are called griots. I use it to play and to sing to improvise with. Also.
And that maybe leads me to mentioning one amazing moment from your sound healing, and I think you probably do this with everyone, that you were singing my name and playing kora, right?
Yes. Yes, playing kora, and also ngoni, which is some kind of harp also.
This
is a little bit more ancient harp even.
Yeah, that was incredible. When you hear your name being sung by this sacred voice, because it's not just really Dymphi, who is singing to you, it's the really divine essence, So it's like, it's really, waking up the heart, the soul, and your essence. And it is what we need, because we are struggling really in these times with a huge transformation, which sometimes pains. It can pain physically, it can pain emotionally, but probably there is nobody who during this time of this corona episode would not get into some kind of pain, because we are going deep in ourselves. We are finding all the things which were swept under the carpet. So yeah, this was really beautiful, and it's like, how many moments in your life can be so much like this when someone is just singing your name. It's just beautiful. I recommend it to everyone.
Thank you.
And Dymphi, could you tell us a few tips on how to survive this period of time of coronavirus isolation? Something from your practice.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Well, in general, what I do is that I try to stay as much as connected to my soul and to my heart as possible, and I try to connect as much as possible to nature. And I also try to stay in the moment, stay in the moment, and like feed myself in a beautiful way, look at loving things, listen to loving music. I try to really hold space and hold my energy. But sometimes I get affected by fear or anger or tiredness. And what I do then, and that is my practice, then I go stand and I really feel my body. I really feel my body, and I look for if this feeling, if it's somewhere in my body. For example, the fear, often you can feel it in the stomach. So then when I feel, for example, my fear, I go to my stomach, and then I really try to welcome it in sound. So I sing to this feeling, like I I just make some sounds, whatever. It doesn't have to be beautiful, but just welcoming it. And then I change it after a while. Then I really sound from that place, and I give really expression to this fear or anger or whatever I feel with sound. So when you look at my website, there's, for example, there's a couple of examples how to do that. But really, it's focusing is going with your consciousness to that place, and then really sounding from that place. Well, it can sound whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be beautiful. And often when I do that, after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I feel so much relief, because you are not your fear. I am not my fear. We are something else, and it's good to remind ourselves of that, and look at the broader perspective the whole time. So these kinds of practices, they help me a lot, and expressing. So, and when I'm tired, I rest. So I notice that in these days, I get into a tremendous creative flow. I burst. Often I burst with energy, and sometimes I'm super tired and I'm just hanging on the couch. But when I give into that, then other times I can have creative explosions of 12 hours working almost nonstop. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Thank you very much. And how about, because you have a daughter, so how about organizing your time with your daughter? Because sometimes she's with her father, but when she's with you, so how do you organize the time right now when you spend much more time inside probably than usually, and so on?
Yeah. Well, well, I love to let her be as free as possible, and that's how we grew up. And she's like she's sitting here next to me and looking at me now. Hi. So well, she's half of the week she is with her father, and half of the week she's with me. And we always talk in the morning, like what are we going to do today? What do you want to do? What do I want to do? And then we look at what is possible. And so we are kind of free flow. Like yesterday, we started to dance together in the living room, and then we made some cake together, and then I was doing some work in the garden, and then later on, my daughter was studying fishes on a computer, or she's also gaming on a computer, and so she's really used to follow her interest all the time. And yeah, I really like that, because when she is naturally used to that, so she's not used to the normal school system where you have to tell her every hour like what to do. She's already different, because she goes to democratic education, and in a time like this is really amazing, because she develops, and she can speak fluently English, for example. But she didn't get lessons for it. She just picked it up herself.
Mm.
So it's very amazing, and it asks a lot of trust and guidance, and also respect from me, to let her and to give her that space. Of course, within boundaries, within what is possible. But yeah, I always explain her like what is possible or not, and why. That's how we talk with each other. Some deep form of respect. Like, she doesn't have to do automatically what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's very different from how a lot of people behave with their children.
Okay, thank you very much. And
but we are very happy.
Final question would be,
yes,
is there any new perception that this corona isolation gave you as a gift? Is there something like really new insight about what matters in life, Is there anything new that you realized, you know, throughout these weeks of very different life than what we were used to?
Yeah, I feel more connected to nature. I feel how important it is for me to go often, to go outside. Yeah, we have still here in the Netherlands, we can, yeah, we still have the opportunity at the moment to do that. I know that's different in other places of the world. So yeah, so the nature is so abundant. And for example, now it is spring, and you know, all these little leaves and these flowers and the animals, you know, there's so much energy into that.
Mm.
And it is in us too, only we forget it. Part of us is ill. So I feel actually what even this corona time gives me, that I focus even more on my mission. I feel like, yes, now is the time to spread my medicine music and to spread the sound healing and the voice work methods, and because it's really needed and it can really do a lot for the energy.
And I would like to use this opportunity to actually ask for support of one intention that me and Dymphi had. We were planning, and now we will see what happens, because the borders of Croatia are closed at the moment because of Corona. So our plan was to do a series of concerts here in Croatia, so that Dymphi can actually sing to the Adriatic Sea. I'll show you in a bit. And we wanted to organize a first concert on the 15th of June at one beautiful island. And we wanted to bring women with us, you know, so that we can actually create some kind of retreat for them again, so that they, you know, get a chance to align with their soul's purpose, to receive beautiful sound healing by Dymphi and so on. And then to have a concert and a fashion show where I would present my long skirts. Now, the first date was meant to be the 15th of June. Then we were thinking about a few days later, one more place. It could be Herzegovina. And then the 22nd of June, we wanted to perform in Makarska. And my original plan was to ask for support the local offices who promote tourism and so on. But unfortunately now they are in a very difficult situation. So they were very interested in hearing Dymphi singing Rusalka and other classical pieces in her new, amazing, spontaneous way. But unfortunately, their budgets are just dry at the moment, because normally in many places the season would be already beginning, so they would have incomes, but now there is no touristic season whatsoever. So if anyone was in a situation that you could and you would like to help us make it come true, we would be very happy that you contact us, because the song, the aria Rusalka, is about a woman who is singing to water, you know. It was written by a Czech composer, Antonín Dvořák, and he actually moved to one place where there was a little lake. And so it was about a woman who is singing to the water, and she's waiting for a beloved one who is not in her life yet. And yes, it's kind of our story with Dymphi also.
Yeah.
So, Dymphi, would you like to say something about that intention that we have?
You mean about the concert, or,
Yeah.
or what? Or what do you mean?
Yeah.
Or about the loved one?
No, I mean now about the concert, and yeah.
About the concert. Yes, it's my intention to create beautiful beautiful classical music, really from a medicine music perspective. So yeah, and I'm super looking forward to yeah, to sing and to create music in this beautiful place. I have a beautiful piano player with me who is absolutely incredible on the grand piano. He can improvise, and but he can also play all the classical pieces. So it's absolutely amazing. and yeah, it will be magic. That's my
Yeah.
feeling. It will be magic.
I think it's
And
fine if I
magic with the
mention
beautiful
the,
fashion and skirts you designed. So yes.
and so I would mention the amount of money that we need to make it happen. So uh, each concert, so that I can coordinate it, organize it. Dymphi, that she can do her job, and her colleague that he can play the piano. Altogether, each of these concerts, the price is €3,000. So we would need €9,000 to make 3 concerts happen here on the Adriatic Sea. But if you are not actually able to help us financially, we would just like to ask for your blessing so that we can make it through. Because, for example, in Czech and Croatian language, a woman, the word for a woman is žena. And to bless, in my language, in Czech language, is žehnat. So actually the woman is a being who should be giving blessings. And it's one of the feminine task, skills, or gifts that we might have forgotten. So we ask women for your blessing to make Dymphi's concert happen so that she can sing to this beautiful, beautiful Adriatic Sea. Look at this.